Islam defines marriage as a public announcement that commits two individuals to one another exclusively. In the past, marketing was a way to encourage marriage, but today it's only caused more fears of marriage itself. Take the wedding party. The financial toll is unbearable. It's cheaper to just post a relationship status update online. This has resulted in more and more people choosing to simply cohabitate without any commitment. So let's talk about it and where it will lead. Islam is very clear about the institution of marriage. It has three main functions, and that helps bring about a balance in society. The first and foremost is the public announcement. And what's interesting is that even in the nuances of this marriage market, people find making it public a critical element in establishing a more refined relationship. In a study, they took couples who would change their status to Facebook official relationships, and they found that it resulted in that announcement increasing commitment. Therefore, the fact that people used public announcement, either through Facebook or any other means, and found that that resulted in a more committed relationship is clear proof that a public announcement is essential when establishing a relationship. The second element that Islam brings about is exclusivity. The underlying monogamous expectation that a relationship has, the unwritten rule, it's this, that if you were to show the same love to anybody else, then this would be over. And that is exactly what marriage, or the institution of marriage, expects. There's a level of trust that must be established. This leads to the third element in the institution of marriage. In any society that does away with commitment and allows people to use and abuse relationships, often just moving on to someone else with no sense of equal stake in a relationship, this leads to an imbalance in chaotic society. At the end of the day, it is women and it is children that are the most vulnerable in any relationship when society embraces this kind of imbalance, even in sexual relations. The outcome of a sexual interaction between men and women is quite different. The vast majority of the burden is placed on women. Women are left impregnated with a critical decision to abort or give birth. And the struggle does not end there. Women then have to choose to raise the child, all while balancing a job and career while they're without any support. This is not including the psychological effects behind each of these decisions. These are but a few of the elements that women are faced with, while men, they can simply have sexual intercourse and walk away without any commitment. And this is precisely the double standard. Men demand commitment, but refuse to extend it. This is why society intervenes to establish universal commitment in the form of marriage. And the long-term effects of these kinds of relationships are the results of children who are then raised in these single-parent homes without both of their biological parents. They are prone to a greater risk of falling prey to the same outcome. For this reason, Islam institutes a protection for both women and children who end up being the most vulnerable in a situation that involves such intimate relationships. This brings us to the final reality, and that is that living in or having sexual relations without tying that sacred knot, Islam is very clear. It is illegitimate and it is forbidden. And one obvious reason is that it creates an environment where the most vulnerable in a society are easily exploited. That is why the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ guided the Muslims and said that there is no institution more beloved to God than the institution of marriage. He said, "Marriage is my precept and my practice. Those who do not follow my practice are not of me." He even said that when a man has married, he has completed one half of his religion. Finally, whoever has the means to marry, let them contract marriage. But if they do not have the means, then let them fast, for fasting restrains the impulses.